Welcome to the Today's Money Masters. I'm your host, Jean-Paul Menu. The Today's Money Masters competition places 3 professional investors together and a novice, each provided with $500,000 to invest. The participants will invest in stocks, bonds, and collective investment schemes. They will share their strategies over a 1-year period, at the end of which the top portfolio manager will get to keep 50% of his total earnings. Now let's continue with the masters on this very exciting journey. But first, a word from our sponsors.
Have you ever been interested in an IPO but didn't have the time to go in branch and submit all the documents? We've got a solution for that. With NCB Capital Markets Go IPO portal, you can submit and track your IPO application from any of your favorite devices. No need to go in branch. No need to contact a wealth advisor. No extra fees. And it's accessible to both NCB and non-NCB clients for all our offers. So no excuses. Investing is easier with Go IPO. Visit www.goipo.jncb.com or text Go IPO to 876-383-1729 and start investing today.
Welcome back. On the program today, we are joined by Timar Jackson, one of our professionals. He's from NCB Capital Markets Limited. Timar, welcome.
Thank you for having me, JP.
Happy New Year to you.
Same to you, man.
I'm happy to kick off the year with you. We are going to jump right into it, though. Andre Yap said in the previous episodes that he thought MailPac was a very risky investment, given that the company seems to disclose only certain aspects of their portfolio, their financials. You have invested in MailPac. What do you have to say to Andre about MailPac? Any response to that?
Well, generally, JP, I would say that the equity asset class is a very risky one. If you're going to be investing in equity, you have to come to a resolve that, look, as much as I'm willing to gain like double times on a particular stock, I must be willing to lose my entire investment on that stock.
Okay.
Right? However, we as analysts have to just add value by looking at the risk-return trade-off, looking at whether or not the risk that we're willing to take on, if it's justified by the returns that we expect from the stock.
Okay.
So in this case, I feel very positive about MailPac. The company operates in an industry that's pretty much not at a mature stage, it's at an emerging stage, which means that there's quite a bit of room for growth. When you look at mobile penetration in Jamaica, it's fairly high, but there's still some ways to go. Approximately about 39% of our population is said to not be using mobile technology.
Okay,
right?
That much?
Yes. Okay. And when you think about the penetration in terms of e-commerce, how many persons are actually, buying stuff from overseas or buying stuff online, that's also indicative that, look, we still have some ways to go. So in this particular situation, I would say that a rising tide should raise all boats. Yes, MailPac operates as well in a very competitive market. There are a lot of small players around the place, right? A lot of mom and pop setup. It's just like KFC in the restaurant industry. A lot of small shops are there, but KFC still does good business, right? MailPac is one of the foremost entity in Jamaica in that particular sector. So I believe that they're well positioned to actually take advantage of the growth that's expected to come within the industry.
Okay.
Secondly, what I would say is that as it relates to the financial information that was disclosed, I'm not sure how much more the company could have done in terms of historical disclosures, because the entity that was listed, MailPac Group, is actually a new company. It was only set up in September of 2019.
Oh, really?
Which means that you wouldn't have had historical
much
information for that report. Particular entity.
Sure.
What that company is, though, is an amalgamation of 2 other pre-existing entities, MailPac Services, which is the courier company that everybody is familiar with, and MailPac Local, which is a recent addition, where they basically offer e-commerce services locally. So persons can go on their platform, buy stuff from PriceSmart, and basically have that delivered to their homes.
Right, okay, I've heard of that. That's a
So
new service.
what they tried to do was to give you a picture, and they call it a pro forma management financial statement. Give you a picture of what the company would have looked like if it is that MailPac Group, which is now listed, would have been in operation and been the parent company of both pre-existing entities, I think from about December 2018.
Okay.
So I think they've done a good job in terms of, what they could have disclosed. I'm not sure how much regulatory framework that is by FSC and also the stock exchange. I'm not sure how much that would allow for them to provide more information beyond that.
At this early stage.
Correct.
Okay.
So I'm not so worried about that. Let us look. However, we are all investors and we all we all have our own opinions. Let us look at the financials that are supposed to come out at the end of December. Well, for the December period, which will be the first time MailPac Group will be giving us any sort of indication of how they've performed.
Okay.
So I'll watch those closely, and then I'll decide what exactly I'll do with my stock.
All right, good. I just wanted to make sure for clarity for our listeners and our viewers, equity asset class.
Yes.
Break that down for me. Explain exactly what that means.
Okay, so as an investor, you have a number of different sort of categories of instruments that you can invest in.
Sure.
You can invest in equity or stocks, same thing, right? You can invest in fixed income, bonds, those things. You can invest in money market, or you can invest in alternative investments such as real estate and other stuff like that, right? So equity is just one segment of the opportunity that's available to investors to invest in.
And it's a big one. It's a good one.
It's
as far
a
as you're
big
saying,
one,
because
right?
You're saying
But it's
the
a
risk
risky
is
one.
high.
Right.
The risk is high, but the returns can also be very high.
Very high, right? So you just have to make sure that the risk that you're taking on is justified by the returns that you expect.
Okay.
And
We're don't be too
right. We're
shocked
not
when
in this
you
thing
lose.
to avoid risk, especially for this
Right.
competition. You have to be an aggressive investor to actually win this competition.
Right.
Right? You have to be willing to take on the risk in order to make those returns.
Okay. Be back in just a bit.
Have you ever been interested in an IPO but didn't have the time to go in branch and submit all the documents? We've got a solution for that. With NCB Capital Markets Go IPO portal, you can submit and track your IPO application from any of your favorite devices. No need to go in branch. No need to contact a wealth advisor. No extra fees. And it's accessible to both NCB and non-NCB clients for all our offers. So no excuses. Investing is easier with Go IPO. Visit www.goipo.jncb.com or text Go IPO to 876-383-1729 and start investing today.
The Money Masters Funds. It's all about real growth, safety and security of your assets. The Growth Fund gives higher returns for the investor more focused on growth. Money Masters Funds, providing growth and security, performance and financial peace of mind.
We are CUFMC, Credit Union Fund Management Company. Trust matters, and you can believe in our reliability.
Service.
We give impeccable attention to your needs.
Experience.
Careful and prudent are part of our DNA.
Know-how.
After 70 years working exclusively for credit unions, now we're open to all investors. CUFMC, Credit Union Fund Management Company.
How we choose to invest our time today often has a propelling effect for what we gain tomorrow. It's like investing in shares.
Mommy, is this a share?
Yes, she's right. It's similar to how shares work. Companies are publicly listed on the Jamaica stock market. These companies are divided into pieces, and these pieces are what are called shares. The owners of these shares are called shareholders.
This has been Timar Jackson giving us his financial thoughts this week. Thanks, Timar. Always a pleasure. Join us next week, same time, for the Masters competition as we meet another participant. Follow the pros and the one novice each week on the Masters competition. Click the like button and subscribe to the Today's Money YouTube channel. And follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Listen and analyze the strategies with the Masters on RJR 94 FM Thursdays at 8:45 a.m. as they challenge each other to stay ahead. And also look out for the portfolios in the Sunday Gleaner. The Masters competition is a product of Today's Money Limited, brought to you in partnership with NCB Capital Markets Limited, Money Masters Limited, Credit Union Fund Management Company Limited, and the Jamaica Stock Exchange. I'm Jean-Paul Manu. The Masters is another fine product from Today's Money Limited.